for this episode, we're going to be talking about the Cincinnati Reds and the St. Louis Cardinals, a 3-game series that St. Louis took all 3 of these, putting Cincinnati on a 7-game losing streak. And the Cardinals going up over 500 for the first time in a little while. So,
yeah, the Reds were leading the Central Division pretty early on in the season, and then went pretty quick to last in the division. So, kind of glad to see them kind of cool off because they started the season very hot with really good hitting and good pitching.
Yeah, all 3 of these games really low-scoring affairs to some degree.
All right, so yeah, we'll start with Game 1 here. Cardinals win at 5-4. Let's take a look first at the pitching for the Reds here. So Gray was our starting pitcher. He didn't have a very good game. Give up 5 earned runs, walked 3, gave up a home run to Molina in the second inning.
Yachty doing clutch things just as he has all year long.
Oh yeah.
Actually ends up getting hurt in this game later on.
Yeah, they pulled him because of a foot issue that kept him out of the next 2 games.
Yeah, they'll be hoping to get him back pretty soon.
From what I was reading, actually it's not too serious, but they're just kind of precautionary, give him some rest and make sure he's good to go. Long season, so you don't want to put him out there if you don't need to.
In games 2 and 3, you definitely wanted him to be out there late too. You really feel as though he would have made a big difference.
His presence would have been really, really big because those were games where they were kind of close at the end there, had some awkward moments, and he didn't go very long either. He went 3 2/3 of an inning, so short outing, gave up 5 earned runs, walked 3, 6 hits. Not a good pitching affair for him, and he does take the loss. Bullpen comes in and actually does not give up any runs.
Yeah, night and day compared to the last series. They didn't have a single game against the Diamondbacks.
That was their issue, was the bullpen.
A line like this.
They came in, they blew it every game. So that's an improvement if you're a Reds fan looking going forward, that their bullpen actually did their jobs here. They struck out 6. The bullpen did collectively for the Reds. So they came in after Gray and did their job. Walked 1, struck out 6, and give up no hits either. So, I mean, really, it was just Gray that had as far as the pitching goes, that was poor on the Reds side there. Looking at their lineup, 2 strikeouts for Castellanos. He's 1 for 5. And 4 strikeouts for Suarez in the 3 spot, and 3 strikeouts for Votto. So
he had a
lot
game
of
like
strikeouts.
that in the last series that we covered, where he had 4 strikeouts as well, and only 4 at bats that time. So I mean, at least he made contact with one of them. But I mean, he's one of the more clutch hitters in the game of baseball. But this season, just not showing.
Yeah, he's not. So that's 10 strikeouts from your 1 through 4 in the lineup in this game. I mean, that's huge. That's really bad, and they had a chance to win the game at the end too. So, with a poor starting pitching too. So they really, all things said, they really had a chance to win it still, which is really surprising. Senzel had a double. India did have a triple. The bullpen did great, in my opinion. Starting pitching was poor. And then just the strikeouts for the early part of the lineup is really a big issue.
Yeah, total reversal of every game they had going against the Diamondbacks in their last series.
Usually their hitting has been clutch and their bullpen's been bad, but
right.
They just completely reversed it here on there, and that's kind of why they took the loss, in my opinion, here.
That had to have been a big point of emphasis coming into this game against a divisional opponent. And having lost, that many games in a row by way of the bullpen, that definitely had a positive effect, as you can see.
They cleaned that part up. Yeah, they lost 4 in a row coming in this game.
I want to cover a couple of things about the Cardinals lineup. Number 1 being Carlson's insertion into the number 2 spot. This was the first game that at least I've seen it happen. The Cardinals figured it out, and Carlson is just he's taken those reins and he's really going with it. And they desperately needed somebody there. Carlson just in the 2 spot, keep him there. This is great. I mean, Edman leading off, and then Carlson in the 2, and having Edman be the leadoff hitter, great decision. Should have happened sooner, in my opinion. Should have happened years sooner. As soon as he broke out onto the scene, it should have happened. They certainly don't have any better options either.
That guy is a great leadoff man. He gets on base. He's got speed. I mean, he does it all. So that guy, I like him in the 1 spot. Carlson, that's great. Goldschmidt's obviously very explosive, and Arenado's explosive as well. So the lineup really, minus Carpenter, I have no issues with it.
Yeah, they got something going here with Carlson having an opportunity in the 2 spot. All right, well, I'll get back to the numbers here. Carlson, yeah, he goes 1 for 3 in this one with the walk. I mean, exactly what you would want production-wise. I mean, this is his first go-around. I mean, there's got to be a lot of pressure. The kid is only 22 years old. And I was one of the skeptics saying, maybe they should have given him a little bit more time in the minors. Well, now I think he's found a role with the team he's really comfortable with. Having him at the top of the order, so far, so good. I hope it continues, and it's definitely worth a try. I mean, you have to at least give people the opportunity, and that's something that this Cardinals team, sometimes they get that right. They give people the opportunity when they need to, like Edmund, for example, and then sometimes they steal opportunities from people that probably would thrive if given a chance. Goldschmidt, he went 1 for 3 in this one with a couple RBIs and a walk. Great day for him. Arenado went 1 for 4 in this one, drove in a run. Molina, before having to come out of the game, he went 2 for 3 with that home run. Yeah, Williams 0 for 3 in this one with 3 strikeouts. And I think after that blunder in the field, he's all but sealed his fate. I mean, he let that one drop in the 9th inning, with the game on the line.
Yeah, the Reds just kind of almost came back here. Like it was just the game was over, 5-0. They get a run in the 6th, and then the 9th, kind of a wild 9th. And I believe, let's see, the last batter was Suarez. I believe he struck out. We'll see it here in a moment. But
Castellanos up here, who's already got a home run in the game, so pretty much the last person you want to see. And Reyes he's got such. His stuff is just so filthy that occasionally he's just going to get away sometimes, and you don't want it to get away when the
especially
score's close.
Kisner too. I mean, hard telling how much actually time they have together.
That's true.
Not going to be as much as Yachty. Yeah, and they struck out Suarez there for his 4th strikeout of the game.
Yeah, scary finish there at the end, but they hold on. But so inexcusable. Just you got to have better communication out there, and it was only 3 runs given up in the 9th inning, and not any more than that. So
yeah, that game was pretty scary at the end. They were basically a pitch away from maybe winning the game, or at least tying it up rather easily, and just fortunate to get out of this game actually. It would have been devastating. Kim pitched amazing. With the Reds struggling at the bat and their pitching was terrible, their starting pitching anyway, that would have been devastating to lose this game when you're up 5-0 pretty early in the game.
And that's his first major league hit, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
Yeah, just legging out a single there, to get on base has to be a good feeling.
Yeah.
I hope they save that baseball for him.
Doing it all here.
It's gotta feel good getting that first hit of your career out of the way, But yeah, in this one he goes 5 2/3 innings, gives up 5 hits, only 1 run crosses the plate. He strikes out 8, a career high for him. The 1 run that he did give up was, by way of the long ball. Castellanos just kind of got a hold of one, but he's been so hot this year. Really not too much shame in that. I mean, he's been hitting it off of everybody. That was actually Castellanos' 1,000 career hit was that home run. So,
wow, game.
I think they made the right choice, giving the closer role to Reyes. I mean, that guy's his stuff is so filthy. He got his 4th save of the year in this one.
I feel like there's going to be this bullpen is going to start to kind of get the kinks worked out and do a little better going forward, hopefully.
I'm starting to get that feeling as well. But, yeah, overall, great pitching performance, except for a little hiccup in the end. But a lot of that had to do with, a drop ball in the field. Williams kind of costing his team there, I felt like.
Yeah. Yeah, on paper it was a close game, but, I guess the result was a close game. But, there's a lot of good things that the Cardinals are doing to kind of outclass the Reds throughout most of the game. Just at the end, it just kind of goes to show you can be beating a team pretty good, and then it can fall apart with just a few bad plays.
Yeah, and it didn't help the cause either, walking in that run. But Winker is, basically at this point, perhaps their most clutch hitter. So, maybe it wasn't the worst thing in the world choosing to pitch away from him. Quite frankly, maybe it could have been worse, especially with the bases loaded. A lot of bad things can happen in that spot. You could end up losing that game. So walking in the run, they still won the game. So, like I said, maybe it wasn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, it was kind of dangerous to have to face Castellanos, but.
All right, so we're going to transition here into the second game of the series. St. Louis doing it again, coming up ahead on a very low-scoring affair, taking this one 2-0. The Reds held to only 3 hits in this one, and John Gant having a great start as well, to follow up Kim's great start, and the Cardinals just seem to be cruising through this series.
Yeah, definitely good pitching from the Cardinals. Low-scoring game, like you said, but another good win, even though, for the Reds, they had 2 errors. So we'll talk about that. We'll watch some of the highlights and kind of go over this one.
For sure.
Yeah, so looking here, it's pretty simple. What the Reds kind of did wrong. They really just couldn't hit. They had 3 hits total. Nobody on their roster had more than 1 hit. Winker was 1 for 4. Castellanos 1 for 3, and Indy was 1 for 3.
All singles. I'm not sure if they ever had a runner reach second base in this one, to be honest with you.
They may not have. So, yeah, they never even got in scoring position. It's really doing nothing really there offensively. Pitching wasn't terrible either. Miley actually pitches 6 innings, only gives up 2 earned runs, walks 2 and 2 strikeouts. I mean, if you give up 2 and your bullpen doesn't give up anything, you would think you have a good chance to come away with this game. But Romano relieves him for an inning, gives up 2 hits, no runs. Hembry goes an inning and gives up nothing as well. So really, I mean, the pitching was not poor from the Reds at all. It was just a defensive matchup, and they really couldn't hit and get anything going offensively. 2 errors, not able to hit. That's kind of easy recipe there for a loss for the Reds.
Yeah, seeing Miley drop to 2-2 on the year, pretty unfortunate. When he gave his team a really good chance to win this one, but
yeah,
John Gant just giving his team an even better chance.
Yeah, just way better performance from the Cardinals in this game, and
he earns his first win of the season. He's now 1-2 overall. Went 6 strong, only giving up the 3 hits in the 2 walks, and the bullpen doing the rest. Cabrera coming in for scoreless innings. And Gallegos getting 2 under his belt for, this is, I don't know how many times he's done that this year, but I mean, just given multiple innings, especially in a close game, like he doesn't have to pitch for 2 innings. Nobody expects him to. But he had to have given him the indication that, he was feeling it and he was going to have no issues and that he could close this game down, earns his first save of the year.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's probably not going to be put in too many save situations. They probably don't want him to be. I mean, they got Reyes, they got even Hicks with his experience as a closer would probably be maybe a better option. Gallegos just mostly known as a setup man and a great one, maybe emerging as one of the most reliable that the game has to offer. Every time he takes the mound, you really feel like he's probably gonna keep the game close.
Yeah.
And that's a really good feeling. You can look at the lineup. Edman going 1 for 4 in this one, came across the score. And again, Carlson, 3 for 4 in this one in the 2 spot. All the credit to the Cardinals for making a great decision. There's no shortage of things to be critical of them for, as far as decision-making goes and making the lineup. But Carlson in the 2-hole, I got to hand it to him. So far, it is paying instant dividends. 3
for 4. And Carpenter's not in the lineup here. They throw in O'Neill and Kisner and Williams. And just pulled Carpenter out, so that was good.
Yeah, in fact, O'Neill, his first game back from injury, and he contributed. He drew a walk and managed to come across on that shot by Kisner that Winker just seemed to misread out there. Here he is coming in to give Yachty a couple of days off and, making the best of it here. I'm not sure what Winker was doing out here in the field, just kind of a blunder.
Yeah,
but,
I think he was trying to kind of come be the hero and try to rob it when he didn't even have to.
Maybe he lost sight of the ball.
I think, it was a really cloudy, too. I think he could have lost in the clouds, but...
In such a low-scoring game, though, you just can't have mistakes like that.
I feel like he just was had it in his head that he was going to rob it, and he didn't even really need to.
Mm-hmm.
Just a mistake.
Carlson again, yeah. Keep him hitting in the 2 spot for as long as he's producing. And in a low-scoring game like this, 2-0, I mean, that's huge.
Yeah.
O'Neill drawing that walk and coming around to score, that was huge. It's his first game back and contributing instantly, and that's exactly what this club needs, quite frankly. They don't need a lot of production from the outfield because they have one of the best infields in the game. But any little thing that they can get it's huge, and this game proves that. Low-scoring affair, he comes across to score, an extra insurance run in a game that was insanely close. So it's just really good to see. So moving on to Game 3 here, Cardinals complete the sweep and go over 500 again for the first time in a little while here. They take this one 5-2. Real strong pitching performance for Flaherty and getting his 4th win of the season. Came out of the gate, not looking too good. Had a pretty shaky outing, and he's since settled down very well.
Yeah, Castillo here, not having a good game. They got to him kind of early there in the first, tacked on a run, and then O'Neill 2 homers off him. He gives up four earned runs, walks 1, strikes out only 3. And 5 innings pitched, and pitches 85 pitches. So he just doesn't have a good game.
O'Neill for the second time. Just keep batting that guy there. Just leave him right where he is. And they appear content to do exactly that, and good for them.
Yeah, Carlson 3 for 4 in this game, having a big one. Looking at their lineup here, the Reds only had 5 hits. They switched up their lineup a little bit. They had Blandino leading off, Winker, Castellanos, and then Votto.
I think that was a good choice to throw him up and see what happens. But, it seemed like the obvious choice going into the game.
Yeah, he's batting .350, it looks like, after the game, and a really good on-base percentage, .435. At this point, you already lost a series, so you're at Game 3 with the Cardinals on the road. Shake it up a little bit. Try something out here.
Absolutely, and it very easily could have worked in their favor. Just the Cardinals pitching again coming through in a serious way.
Really good pitching from the Cardinals. Winker is 2 for 4. He gets an RBI. He strikes out once.
Every game we talk about in Cincinnati, it's like that guy is contributing.
Castellanos has a pretty decent game, 2 for 4. Doesn't score, but 2 for 4. He's doing okay there.
And here's where it gets bad.
Votto 0 for 3. He draws a walk and strikes out once. Suarez 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts. That guy's really struggling. A lot of strikeouts for him so far and just low average. And then the rest of the lineup, really nothing there.
India ended up taking that shot. That shot to the head, to the helmet there.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
And India, probably I should mention, even when he was awarded his base, he's still kind of jawing at Flaherty. Not a lot of pitchers gonna stand for too much of that. He's a young player. I'm not sure, what he really thought was going on there, but it was pretty obvious that Flaherty, felt, as bad as you could expect somebody to feel after doing something like that.
Yeah, it was real obvious it wasn't intentional. It's unfortunate, when you get hit in the head. You might be a little mad. I'd probably be mad if you hit in the head by a 90-mile-an-hour fastball or something. But it's not intentional. It's the game. It's a game you play. It's what you sign up to do. You take that risk every day. I know on the broadcast during the game, the announcers were saying it's going to be interesting when Flaherty walks off the mound because they kind of had to cross each other to go to the dugout, but it didn't really show it. I really wanted to see if they had any words or if he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry," but it didn't really show it. But
yeah, another reason why I think it probably would have been nice to have Yachty out there. I'm sure he would have, really let him know the way things are.
He would have handled that situation a little better for sure.
Or maybe it could have escalated for that matter, as things have been known to in the past.
Molina's
I still would have liked to have seen what would have happened had he been playing today. But
for sure.
Scary moment here.
Yeah, Flaherty hits India right in the head there, and definitely wasn't intentional by any means. But there was a pretty big spectacle there with the Reds manager coming out and getting ejected, and
And he visibly,
being pretty animated.
You know, showed instant, remorse for doing it. There's a lot of pitchers in the league that wouldn't care whatsoever. Flaherty's, obviously somebody that, he did care a little bit that it happened, and kind of, showing signs that he wished that hadn't happened.
It certainly wasn't intentional, but yeah, I mean, given some of the history with this team, this matchup this season, I mean, I don't know, it definitely wasn't intentional, but I guess they warned them. They warned both teams.
And you got to think, being on this losing streak, probably just some, some bad feelings spilling over, because, just the inability to win games too probably played a part.
Yeah, they're definitely frustrated. Really, they just didn't really have many hits. They didn't really get much going on there, and then Castillo kind of had that bad game there, giving up 2 home runs to O'Neill. That's just hard to. When your offense isn't really clicking, that's hard to give up home runs and play from behind. They've been playing from behind so much this year, and they've always had those late game heroics, but they just really couldn't do it here. They tacked on a few runs here in the 7th and the 8th. Winker did have that homer, so yeah, as you said earlier, Winker's on fire. So that guy's, he had a home run on the day, just not enough. Just the starting pitching was really the main issue here, and just their offense not really. They tried shaking the lineup a little bit, but it didn't really work. Winker obviously did okay, and Castellanos, but it just kind of didn't work.
Credit to them for trying to switch things up. It's pretty obvious to everybody what really needs to be switched up is Votto's just he's not doing it like he's used to, but he has earned the right to be solidified in the lineup right where he's at, and they're just never going to change it. I mean, he's a fan favorite for obvious reasons.
I mean, Winker in the cleanup would be a nice spot, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be, at this point, I'm a big advocate for just doing whatever's working at that time. If someone's hot, you put him in a good spot. It's just that easy.
You would have to assume that if things continue down this way that, maybe... Well, who knows? I don't really want to say. I mean, Votto's been so good for so long that it's hard to find a bad thing to say about the guy.
I think it's a club decision, though. I mean, he's a veteran. He should understand that whatever's going to help the team's going to help the team. He'd probably be okay. It's not like we're saying put him bat him 8th, but if we put him at like 3 or 5 probably or something, it's probably okay. But just in the cleanup there, I don't know. I just like to see whoever's really getting it going kind of shift him around a little bit, just mix and match and try to see what happens. In a game like this, they tried it because they already lost the series, but it just didn't really work for them.
Yeah, the Cardinals doing a little bit of, trying to mix and match as well. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. And Edman at the top of the lineup, that works. He went 1 for 4 in this one. Came across the score, and Carlson so far, just really rewarding the club by for their good decision making. They chose to bat him second. What's he do? Gets 3 hits and drives in a run. So that's just a beautiful thing.
Batting .309, yeah.
Yeah, his average is starting to shoot up, as a result, and. I just, you just got to love what you're seeing. Just the Cardinals got to continue to make good decisions like these. Goldschmidt going 1 for 4 in this one, driving in a couple. That's what he's there to do. I mean, this is what you can expect from Goldschmidt. Arenado, not what you would expect. He went 0 for 4 in this one. Thankfully, they didn't need much from him in this game. Yeah, DeYoung, with Molina out of the lineup, they got to move DeYoung up. He goes 1 for 3 in this one, draws a walk, so not a bad outing for him.
A little improvement from what he's been doing.
But there was a bad outing from Williams again, 0 for 3 in this one, and it's probably, with O'Neill's return, it's time to figure something else out. Yeah, maybe a little bit past time. I understand they he's a young guy. They don't want to probably completely ruin his confidence, but it's getting to the point where, I mean, it almost cost him a game in this series, and he's just not contributing enough. Let's be honest. I don't want to be too hard on him because, like I said, he is a young guy, and maybe he does have some kind of a promising future to look forward to. But this year, that's starting to seem less and less likely. O'Neill in this one, getting things going. 2 solo shots, and and going yard on a couple of occasions. I'd like to see him do that, if somebody gets on base. That's for sure. Yeah. But can't complain too much. It was a low-scoring affair, so, hey, every run is very important. And those 2 runs that he was able to put up, made a huge difference in this game. So, and especially, helping to shake the confidence of Castillo at spots. You give up a couple of homers to the same guy, and suddenly you're second guessing yourself out there on the mound, and it can lead to other things. Kisner in this one filling in for Yachty again, went 1 for 3 and came across a score. So Kisner is contributing in Yachty's absence, and you can
Absolutely.
ask for getting anything out of your backup catcher, and he's filling some big shoes. That's what I mean to say.
Yeah. So yeah, he kind of did his job for sure. I mean, he handled it behind the plate there, and then offensively, 1 for 3, and he's got a decent on base percentage, and averages .263. He hasn't played a lot, of course, but definitely does enough.
Also worth mentioning, Goldschmidt he picked up his first stolen base of the season. So interesting to see. That came late in the game off of Doolittle. He was on the mound during that, and Goldschmidt, he used to be one of the few first basemen that was capable of stealing a base. That's kind of faded in recent times, but kind of good to see that again. So the big story of this game is Jack Flaherty earning his 4th win of the season, going 7 strong, only giving up 3 hits, striking out 6, giving up the long ball on one occasion. Not the end of the world. Winker going. I mean, he's hitting so well. I mean, between him and Castellanos, if one of them doesn't do something really spectacular during the game, it's pretty rare. They managed to see that happen in game 2. But in this one, Winker gets the better of him and won it bad. And Reyes earning his 5th save of the season, and he's been nothing but great. I mean, shaky outing, gave up a hit and 2 walks, but still seals the deal. Does what he's there to do, closing out the game. I mean, it very easily could have went sideways real quick, but fortunately, he held on, and the Cardinals sweep against a divisional opponent, and move one game over 500, and a game over 500 at home, in front of St. Louis fans. So St. Louis really rebounding well after a tough series loss to the Nationals, their 2nd of the season. So they only won 2 games out of 6 against Washington, basically, who have struggled against everybody else. So kind of surprising there, but good way to rebound
for sure. And the Reds are now in last place, sole position in last, and the Cardinals are moving up the standings right behind Milwaukee for the division lead. So just some good positivity for them and their fans to see them actually. Their bullpen's doing well. Starting pitching was astonishing for every single game. They've had a little bit of a habit this year of just losing that last game of the series, and they came out and they swept the series, and it's really good to see that. Yeah,
it feels like the starting pitching is doing so well. It's starting to get contagious. Just one good outing can lead to another sometimes, and I think that's what you're starting to see with St. Louis.
Yep, that momentum going from one starting pitcher does well in the clubhouse, the next guy's like, okay, I got to follow this and do really well, and then he does it, and then the third guy's like, okay, I can't let him down. I'm going to go out there. And just like the whole morale of the team rises to the occasion when the starting pitching is going out there and pitching gems, and then your offense is, you're giving them run support, and it's just everyone's happier, and it just works out. So the whole team's happy and racking up wins early in the season for a long season. So I'm just happy to see them win this series, and hopefully they can take that momentum going forward for the next series.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. St. Louis will look to host a 4-game series against Philadelphia coming up. Wainwright will take the mound for the first game. Oviedo getting his first start of the season. St. Louis surprisingly going to a 6-man rotation for a short time, trying to give some guys a little bit of extra break coming up. So
for sure, the Reds will be playing the Dodgers in L.A., and it looks like Malley is going to be going against Urias.
That's not the team you want to be facing now when you're trying to turn your season around. That's for sure.
Losing 7 games in a row, and you got to go on the road to play the Dodgers. That's tough.
Definitely, it's just like they say. You can't win. You can't win it all in April, but you can definitely lose it all. And Cincinnati's in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, these are very crucial series in the beginning for the Reds. After it's just more of a demoralizing situation too. Going up, they had some confidence early. Now they're losing 7 in a row, and maybe get swept again on the road by the Dodgers. So it's crucial for sure.